Alright, welcome on in everyone. I don't know what continue does, just puts me on the screen. Okay. This one. Now we won't find out where all the humans are. I don't need your help. I'll find some more school invaders myself. Stubborn little Takumi. You'd really rather see Tsubasa die than accept my help? Won't let that happen. After firmly turning down the sponsor's offer for help, I walked out of the leisure lounge. And I returned to my room and waited for morning to come. I went outside to hunt for invaders with my usual party and the newly recruited Doremi. We got on the bus and Tsubasa drove us as far out into the wilderness as she could. An abandoned hospital. An art gallery we stumbled upon. A massive high-rise building. We spent 2 days searching in all kinds of places. But even then...
Eddie's. You never know. Well then.
Good night. Good night, Waffle. On the night of day 77, we still hadn't found any invaders, let alone killed them. I mean, why aren't there any invaders anywhere? The enemy must have recalled all their troops still loitering around in the vicinity of the school. Probably so that we can't hunt them anymore. What do we do now? Mistress Tsubasa is in last place. I don't want her to die. Just kill me for the points now, please. I already said no to that. What's the point of you dying to keep me alive? Makes me sad like that one more... Make me sad like that one more time and I'll never take a bath with you again. Whoa. Huh? They're bathing together? No, wait, don't be distracted by that. Tomorrow's the last day of the 3rd round. If we can't earn enough points by tomorrow, Tsubasa will be executed at midnight. I guess having a rematch with Dulcia is the only way out of this. They're out now. Yugamu had quietly made the suggestion. That super strong commander? I didn't even have time to move during that last fight with him. Yeah, but beating him seems like the only way for us to save Tsubasa. I figured we should give it a shot. I have a feeling we might bump into him somewhere in the desert. Taking our chances with a ridiculously powerful enemy rather than sit around doing nothing was just the kind of reckless plan Yugamu would come up with. I suddenly remembered something the sponsor had said before. That's right where you belong. The more desperate someone gets, the more they're willing to dirty their hands to change their situation. How exciting. We were in such a tight spot that taking a major risk was the only way to turn things around. How's this sound? We'll head for the desert first thing tomorrow morning. Find Dulcia and take him down. It's the only way, right? Well, fine. Too bad for you, Dulcia. That old man popped me like a balloon before. I need to get my revenge. Right, beating him will get us his cryptoglobin for escape pod fuel as well. 2 birds with 1 stone. Despite our headstrong proclamations, the grim smiles on our face betrayed our true feelings. For all our psyching ourselves up, deep inside everyone knew it was virtually impossible for this plan to work. I found myself unable to sleep even as the clock ticked over from midnight into the new day. Is this really going to work? Once morning came, we would be seeking out the powerful warrior Dulcia for battle. Our goal was to earn enough points to pull Tsubasa out of last place. It was the only option we had. Still, we all knew how terrifyingly strong Dulcia was from our last battle. None of our attacks could even scratch him back then. Isn't there another way? An easier target to earn a large amount of points from? Suddenly, an image surfaced in my head. No. The faces of Takamaru and his team. Since everyone in the special defense unit were targets as well, if we killed them, Tsubasa would be safe. No, what am I even thinking? I shook my head vehemently in an attempt to shake that horrifying thought from my mind. Could I abandon my scruples like that? Am I really that desperate? Trying to solve this by killing other friends was out of the question. I'd be playing right into the sponsor's hands. Come on, think. What are our other options? Something with a high success rate that didn't involve harming our allies and ensured Tsubasa's survival. I tossed and turned in my bed, thinking the problem over all throughout the night. There had to be a better way to save Tsubasa from certain execution. Before long, morning had arrived. Wait, that's it? As the morning sun lit up my room, a light bulb lit up in my head. They had found a way to save Tsubasa. Not just that, this method would prevent all future deaths in the game as well. I quickly went about getting things ready for my newly hatched plan once I was done. Tsubasa and I took the school bus out of the academy together. Just us. After we reached flat ground, Tsubasa switched the bus to cruise control and came to sit by me. What's this all about, Takumi? You made me drive off in such a hurry. I mean, I don't mind, but shouldn't we have gotten Yugamu and Dorumi as well? They don't have to come along for this. This is our escape. Just you and me. Our escape? Yes, we're running away. From the sponsor and their bees. I looked up at the sky from the window and saw a single bee tailing the bus. That bee was the game monitor, put there to stop the participants from escaping the hunt. It would follow us to the ends of Earth, so running away was pointless. Or so we had been made to think. The truth was... Will that bee really follow us everywhere we go? If we use the bus to cover more ground, maybe we can wear it down eventually. That bee's physical abilities have been enhanced with Hemo Animal. It's not going to get tired that easily, right? I have no idea, but it's worth a shot. No one's ever seriously tried running away from the game before. If we do manage to get away safely, you'll be saved. Not only that, but no one else will need to be executed in your place either. Because according to the rules, only the person in the last place of each round gets executed. If Tsubasa kept running away while she was in last place, nobody would ever be executed again. That was how the game would have to go, according to its own rules. But doesn't that mean we'll never be able to go back to the school? Yeah, but don't worry. I've stocked the bus with more than enough food, water, and fuel to last us for a long, long time. Not the food I'm worried about. Why are you here with me? Now you can't go back either. Don't sweat it. Just like that, shouldn't you think this through a little more? What's there to think about? Tsubasa was the most important person in the world to me, so I chose to go with her. It was as simple as that. Kumi, you really are an idiot. She smiled, looking a little exasperated with me. So reckless, or maybe daredevil is a better word in this case. What were you expecting? Love is blind after all. love. Cut it out. You sound like some sleazy pickup artist. Tsubasa ran back to the driver's seat with a bright red face. After that, we continued to drive the bus, never stopping once. Tsubasa taught me how to drive so I could take over on roads with fewer obstacles. A few hours after driving around in shifts, I looked out of the window and realized something.
It's gone. It's gone. The bee that's been following us is gone.
Really? It finally gave up?
Yeah, but we can't assume anything yet. We should keep going, just to be sure.
We kept on driving the bus for a few more hours. Eventually, it became dark outside.
I can't see in front of us at all. Are you sure we can't use the headlights?
I don't think that's a good idea. Bugs are drawn to bright lights at night, aren't they?
There are too many obstacles lying around here for us to use cruise control. I guess the safest option is to stop for now.
Yeah. I don't see the bee anywhere. We'll stop here and rest until the sun comes back up.
We found a spot behind some ruins where we could park the bus and nap until morning. We huddled together under the same blanket just like the last time.
Our great escapade went pretty well.
The sponsor must be panicking. Now they can't execute you for being in last place.
The execution had been scheduled to take place at midnight, but it was already long past that time. We'd successfully escaped from the invader hunt.
Oh boy, this is honestly a huge relief. I don't think we could ever have beaten Dal Shah. I was so sure today would be my last day on Earth. I couldn't sleep a wink last night.
You're so silly. I promised I wouldn't let you die, remember? I'll always be there to protect you.
Tomorrow too?
Yes. And the day after, and the day after that. Always.
Kept whispering to Tsubasa that I would protect her forever. I must have made her feel safe because a few minutes later, she closed her eyes and her breathing started to even out. She was probably tired from the stress and driving all day. I leaned my body against hers and decided to turn in for the night as well. And that was how I fell asleep, with the comforting feel of Tsubasa's warmth next to me. Maybe that was why I had the most beautiful dream that night. A dream I was having a nice peaceful breakfast back home in the Tokyo residential complex. Mom was smiling happily. Karuwa and I were smiling happily. It was a scene of a time when I was still ignorant, of a place I held dear in my heart. I had a burning desire to take Tsubasa there. I'd promised to do that for her before. If I showed up at home with a girl, even one who wasn't Karuwa, I bet Mom would literally start jumping for joy. She'd cook enough to feed an entire village, so much Tsubasa would feel bad she couldn't eat it all. I would eat surrounded by those I loved. How I longed for that day to come. That was my dream now. I wanted to introduce Tsubasa to my family. We could make it come true. I was sure of it now that we had safely escaped from the killing game. I no longer had to live in fear that my loved ones might die. Tsubasa and I would always be together. I would always be there to protect her. Today, tomorrow, and forever, until the end of time. Dang. That's an ending. Escaping our fate. Not really. I bet the bee was on top of the roof. We are not going to kill Eito this time. Oh. Huh? Why was there a second option? Did I just misread it? Oh, it was yellow, I bet. I'm just blind. Yeah, it was yellow. I'm just super blind. Leave Moko? No, we won't leave Moko this time, for sure. No, you can't expect us to agree to that. Forsooth, Lady Moko, it's all for one and one for all. Don't be a pig-headed numbskull, Takumi. You just don't get it. I told you I made a promise to Kororo. Promised her I'd protect the girls. But you're a girl, too. Actually, that doesn't matter. It's my duty to protect every member of the Alliance. That means Nozomi will... Although, we continue this conversation after we beat the commander. Our grueling battle against the Squad 10 commander raged on. Whenever we backed him into a corner, he would slip away, recover, and the whole process would begin all over again. His ability to turn back time made that battle drag on, but after a long while... We unleashed a concentrated attack on him, and at long last... we brought the Squad 10 commander down once and for all. Nozomi. Nozomi. Once the commander had fallen, we rushed over to Nozomi to check on her. When we got there, we were relieved to find she was still breathing. We took her back to the school and treated her right away. She could still be saved. Don't die on us, Nozomi. We ran back to the academy as quickly as we could, carrying Nozomi the whole way. Don't die, Nozomi. Hold on just a little longer. As I ran, I prayed hard for Nozomi to survive this. I didn't want to see yet another friend dying on me, especially not Nozomi. I came all the way back to prevent her death in the first place. All that would be for nothing if she died now. Once we get back, I'll grab Yugamu and get him to treat Nozomi's injuries. He's so familiar with the human body, this shouldn't be a problem for him. I kept going through the steps I'd take in my mind as I ran with all my might. Hey, guys, was the school always so far away? We'd been running for a while now, but we couldn't see the wall of fire. Not even a single flame. The huge wall had been a major landmark. It wasn't the kind of thing we could just miss. It's really strange. We're definitely not lost, so... Mayhaps we've been shrunk? Anyway, this is the right direction, so let's just keep going. All of us clearly felt this was an ill omen. Nevertheless, we kept running in the direction where the school should be. When we finally arrived, an astonishing sight greeted us. Huh? I could barely recognize this school.
What happened here?
Why has the school been destroyed?
Are you sure this is Last Defense Academy? We didn't take a wrong turn somewhere?
I found it hard to believe this was really our school, too. But it was. It was practically in ruins, but there was no mistaking it.
I understand now. The Squad 10 commander was merely a decoy.
A decoy?
He was there to draw out and hold back the majority of the Special Defense Unit's fighters.
Oh, right. If we decided to abandon Moko, we get back, Nozomi's recovering, and we get attacked right away. So now we missed the attack, and it's over.
Then other commanders would be free to destroy the academy while we were occupied. A two-pronged offensive to conquer an enemy stronghold. It's the oldest trick in the book.
Now it made sense why that commander fought so inefficiently and kept dragging the battle out. He was trying to buy the other commanders time to launch their attack. And I'd fallen for the enemy's gambit, leaving the school poorly defended. That, in turn, had led to its destruction. Shortly after we arrived back, Nozomi died from her injuries. Now that we'd lost our base, we didn't even have anywhere to erect a tombstone for her. All we could do was wander around the town ruins for the rest of our lives. The Academy falls. I'm guessing I still don't have info for this line somewhere. No. Still sitting there. Ooh. Oh, we probably die right away if we don't join up with Gamu. Or he just kills us. No, I don't think we will. Thought for sure she was the second one. Yugamu was right. If the anti-sponsor alliance got wiped out now, all hope would be lost. The best we could do was survive and carry on Hiroko's will. As I made to leave, my gaze fell on her, now on the verge of death.
I'm sorry I couldn't save you, Hiroko. But we'll definitely bring down the sponsor. I promise.
Yugamu and I turned around and started running as fast as we could. I'm sorry, Hiroko. I'm sorry. I mumbled words of apology over and over again under my breath as we dashed across the town ruins. We made it back to school by the skin of our teeth. I threw myself onto the bed once I was in my room, exhausted from the non-stop fighting since morning. But my heart couldn't rest. The weight of my regret grew heavier with each passing moment. Hiroko, Darumi. I could have saved them if I'd stepped in. I abandoned my allies to certain death. No, I didn't. I shook my head, yelling in an attempt to reject my self-reproof. By the time I'd seen them, it was already too late. My decision to flee was to avert total annihilation. I'd made the right choice. I didn't abandon them to death. They were already beyond saving. Is that Yugamu? You might be here to talk about what to do next. Now that Hiroko's dead, we need to have a serious discussion about the fate of the anti-sponsor alliance. I opened the door to let Yugamu in, but somebody else was on the other side. Takamaru, Ima, and Kako too? What do you guys want? What do we want? Quit playing dumb, you freaking scumbag. Takamaru grabbed hold of me, and a raged look on his face. What's this about? Why are you so angry? Why wouldn't we be? Two of our friends just got killed. Two? You mean Hiroko and Darumi? We checked the rankings just now and saw they died all of a sudden. That didn't seem right, so we did some investigating of our own. Guess what? We received eyewitness reports that confirm you committed the crime, Mr. Samino. What crime? Nozomi saw you leaving in a hurry with Hiroko and Darumi this morning. Two people you were hanging out with suddenly dropped dead. What do you think that means, genius? I'll tell you what it means. It means you killed them. It wasn't me. We went out to hunt invaders together, but then the Squad 3 commander showed up, and then I explained what had happened without going into too much detail. I told them about Hiroko, Doremi, Yugamu, and myself forming a team to carry out a certain operation. When the commander suddenly showed up, he killed Doremi and Hiroko. Yugamu and I had no choice but to escape.
Duh?
That's a lie if I've ever heard one. It makes a lot more sense to think you're the one who killed Miss Amamiya and Miss Shizuhara. Those two occupied the top positions in the rankings. You must have set them up so you could take their place. Would kill another person for that. I get it, you don't trust me. But you can check with Yugamu, can't you? You can attest to the fact that I wasn't the one to kill them. I don't believe a single word that perverted clown says. Besides, you might just be colluding with each other. Therefore, I'm afraid we have found you guilty on the basis of a long string of circumstantial evidence. And now you're under arrest. Enjoy your stay in the courtyard cage. Don't forget to make friends with Ava. Oh, stop. Let go. Let go of me. Calm down and stop resisting. They caught and restrained me before I could say anything more. Huh. Interesting. I was thrown into one of the cages in the courtyard. And killed them. You've got it all wrong. Let me out of here. No matter how hard I tried to protest, Takamaru refused to listen. I was left to languish in the cage. I stayed there day after day after day. Eventually, we reached the end of the first round. Since I couldn't take part in the hunt anymore, I'd fall into last place, and the bees came for me. Yippee! That sounds about right. Round 1 loser. Dang. Wait. But Shoma should have been the one. You're telling me Shoma actually killed some enemies? I don't know about that one. No, Yugamu, you're a weirdo. Get out of here. Sorry, I can't team up with you. I was convinced Yugamu had to be plotting something, given he went out of his way to approach me after I'd been ostracized. The things he usually talked about already made me uneasy. He probably just wanted to torment me for his own amusement. Oh, for the love of murder, you're a cautious one, aren't you, Takumi? Turning me down is as good as having a death wish, you know, unless you have someone else in mind. No, I'm not gonna team up with anyone. I'll survive by myself. So stop following me. With that, I ran away. I ran and ran until I was nearly out of breath, trying to get away from Yugamu as quickly as I could. The thought that he might be trying to kill me struck fear into my heart. But no matter how far I ran, I didn't feel safe. After all, I was up against a professional assassin. I continued to run around with heedless abandon. Where am I? I realized I'd ended up in a place I'd never seen before. Where is this? Which direction is the school? I started looking around at my surroundings. All of a sudden, a huge swarm of school invaders popped out from the shadows. Of all the times to show up. I spun around and began to flee. Despite my best efforts, I was unable to shake off the pursuing invaders. They kept coming after me relentlessly, trying to intimidate me with their weird cries the whole time. I'd been running for what felt like hours, but they were still hot on my tail. In fact, there were even were now even more invaders than before. And then it finally happened. The invaders managed to completely surround me. I saw no way out. The only thing I could do now is fight. I can't possibly beat this many invaders by myself.
Somebody, help me!
Of course, it was pointless to call for help.
Tsugamu, are you out there somewhere?
He wouldn't come help me now. Not after I slapped away his offer to work together so thoughtlessly. Why did I turn down his offer to help? Oh, right, because I'd gotten so paranoid. I'd lost my mind after falling out of favor with everyone else, and took that frustration out on Yugamu. But all he really wanted was to save my life. It was too late for regret. I was truly alone now. Invaders were getting more and more excited, like animals licking their lips before a big meal. They'd found me isolated from the others, and now they couldn't wait to start tearing me apart. Slowly and steadily, they inched closer. And the closer they got, the stronger the smell of death became. My breathing quickened, my body was trembling. I instinctively understood that this was the end. As I looked death in the face, I finally understood how powerless someone who was completely isolated could be. Somebody who had lost the trust of others, who had lost the ability to trust others. That's a long scream. Somebody like that was already as good as dead. Wow, I can't believe I only had one misstep on this whole line. Technically, I didn't complete all the Killing Game lines. Unless this isn't Killing Game? Oh, it is not Killing Game, actually. They label it as Mystery Route. Well, now we get to save Eito and make new lines. I don't know what saving Eito is supposed to do, but you know, I guess other Eito won't show up. Let him live. He's your future. No, I'm not gonna kill you, Eito.
Huh?
What?
Yeah!
You may be totally insane, but you're still human, not to mention you're defenseless now. Even in an extreme situation like this, killing you would be going too far. It's not a step I'm prepared to take. What do you propose we do with him, then? Lock him up, keep him somewhere we can keep an eye on him until the 100 days are up.
No.
You're such a softy, Samino. With an attitude like that, you're gonna have trouble dealing with whatever comes next. I already know what's coming next. Believe me, I've taken that all into account. Well, you did save my life and all, so I guess I owe you one. It's all the same if we win the war, right? Isn't that what everyone on the artificial satellite wants?
Oh.
You know about that too, huh? Alright, where are we gonna put him? We can use the cages in the courtyard.
No.
Kinda planning on waiting until day 50 to give you access to that area.
Aha.
But needs must when the devil drives. So that's your decision, to lock Atsuki in one of our cages? Yes. I won't kill you, Eito, but you're a prisoner now. Stay out of trouble until the war is over. What's so funny? You know what I am and what I'm planning, but you're still going to let me live? You're a really nice guy, Takumi. Really, just too nice. Of course, you still look like a hideous monstrosity. That's enough. Fine, fine. I'll be a good little prisoner and stay in my cage. It's not like I can fight back anymore.
Yeah.
We'd better get right to it then. Siri's eyes flashed right again. You have your own personal drones? Oh, you mean you never saw me use these?
Yeah.
Guess you wouldn't if I got killed on day 2. The nerve of this guy cutting down a superior officer before I even have the chance to throw my weight around. Quit griping. Go get him safely locked up.
Yeah.
You're the boss.
See you around, Takumi. Let's hope you don't regret this decision later.
It's okay, I've already gone through all of the decisions of you being dead. Siri secured the injured Eito to his drones and took him away. Even after they'd left, I couldn't get Eito's deranged laughter out of my mind. I didn't regret my decision, but it unsettled me all the same. Do you think this has changed the future? Yes, I'm sure of it. Siri is alive and Eito won't be able to sabotage us like he did before. Things will play out a lot differently now. I hope so. How are you going to explain this to the others? Will you tell them about how you came back to redo the past? I haven't really thought about that yet. The team that's here now aren't the same people I fought alongside before. From their point of view, we've only just met. If I start talking about coming from the future, they'll probably think I'm crazy. What would you do? Do you think I should tell them? Even with your powered-up cryptoglobin and foreknowledge, you can't win this war all on your own. You'll need to work together to give mankind a brighter future. So I should tell them the truth and hope they go with it. Hearing about everything you've experienced is bound to have a profound effect on them. Maybe it'll convince some of the more reluctant members to join the fight. Although I can't say for sure if that will be a good thing. Why's that? The more everyone's actions and attitudes change, the more things will deviate from the future, you know. If you change too much, you won't be able to predict what will happen as easily as before. Right, and I've already changed a lot just by coming here. You could probably help the others avoid making the same mistakes as before without telling them everything. Of course, there's no way of knowing if that's the right choice either. You'll have to figure it out for yourself. You're the one who has to make the hard decisions now, Takumi. You'll be the one who decides what form the future takes. You're right. The future is in my hands now. I stand by my choices, no matter what happens or what I have to sacrifice. Sacrifice. I was surprised to hear myself talk like that. But it was the truth. Making one choice, creating one future, would sacrifice the other. Like how I left everyone behind in my original timeline to come here. Or how I held Eito's life in my hands just a few minutes ago. My actions could have serious consequences. I'd have to remember that going forward. There's no such thing as a perfect choice that will fix everything. But I think that's all the more reason to pick what you consider to be the right choice.
Whatever you decide, I hope you'll get the result you want.
Probably not. Without another word, the ghost boy disappeared. Right choice, huh? I'll do it. I'll figure out the right choices and guide us all toward a happy ending. And so my second attempt at my second day at Last Defense Academy drew to a close. Ding dong, bing bong.
Get ready for your prepare to spend. Be ready to give your life.
Okay, day 3. The first time around, Siri got everyone to come to the war room so he could tell us the truth about the war. Everyone's probably there now. It's weird, I feel a little nervous. They all mean so much to me, but I'm practically a stranger to them. This is gonna be interesting. Everyone's here. Sirei, Hiriko, and Ima too. I knew they would be, but I wasn't prepared for how it would make me feel. So weird seeing them alive again. Eito's not here. What's taking him so long? Maybe he overslept. You should give him a wake-up call, Mr. Murko. Why me? Go wake him up yourself. Don't you worry about Otsuki. He's unable to attend today. Unable? Oh, I get it. He's locked himself in his room. Honestly, I don't blame him. I'm still having trouble coming to terms with all this. I know none of it feels real. Oh, I'm sorry for having the audacity to speak without someone hitting me first. Come on, Siri, let's get this started. You're not gonna weasel out of it this time. Tell us the truth about this war. Before I do that, I'd like to ask you all something. Last night, did you notice any kind of irregularity in your bodies?
Huh?
Irregularities in our bodies. The moment everyone heard that, their faces went pale. I didn't want to mention it, but sometime after I went to bed, I got hot and feverish all of a sudden. For real, the same thing happened to me. And me. Happened shortly after I climbed into bed with my dear sister. That's terrible. But we don't always sleep together. He only did it to help me calm down. Ever since then, I've been totally amped. It's like I've chugged 50 million energy drinks or something. Yeah, same here. Feels like some kind of new power welling up inside me. Oh, me too. The same for all of us. What was that feeling exactly? Ghost Boy was right. My cryptoglobin powered everyone up. Siri, did you do something to us? Sorry, but it wasn't me this time. Somebody else was responsible. Siri turned and gave me an expectant look. Everyone followed his gaze. They were all staring at me now. What's Takumi got to do with it? The meaning of this. Are you saying Takumi did this? No way. How could a shrimpy little wimp like him do something like that?
Hey!
I really don't want to hear that from you. You see, this Takumi Samino isn't the same Takumi Samino you all know. Last night he exposed a traitor in our midst, Eito Otsuki. A traitor? What do you mean? He was plotting against us. He was going to kill me and sabotage our side's war effort from the inside. What? No freaking way. Why would Eito want to do that? Otsuki is abnormal. Unbeknownst to us, he was born with a profound hatred for all humanity. He was going to use this opportunity to wipe out the entire species. Dude, if we're going to start killing each other, he'd have been perfect to have around. But thanks to Samino's quick thinking and bravery, his plan was exposed and I emerged from the experience unharmed. How heroic. I didn't think you had it in you, Mr. Samino. Like, not even a little. Well, what did you do with Eito? Is he dead? No, Samino went all humanitarian on me, so we've locked him in a cage in the courtyard instead. Courtyard? Cages? I don't remember seeing either of those. Well, I'm glad you didn't kill him. That would have been going too far. Is he really that crazy, though? He looked like he wouldn't hurt a fly. Trust me, if we hadn't stopped him, he'd have messed everything up. How was it that you realized what he was up to? So far as I can see, Eito never said or did anything suspicious until now. Can you explain how you were able to see through him when no one else could? How did you deduce it? Did you find some vital clues we missed? Everyone looked at me again, waiting for an explanation. Looks like I've got another choice to make. Do I tell them about coming from the future or not? Should I tell them everything so we can all move forward together? Or should I protect them from the truth and figure out another way to help them? It's all up to me. What do I do here? Ugh. If I don't tell them, they're gonna be suspicious of me. If I do tell them, they're gonna be suspicious of me. No. I want to get everyone on my side, I should really tell them the truth. But it's not like they'll all believe me yet. Believe I'm a time traveler right away. Even if they did, that could come with its own problems. If they learn about the future, history will change again.
If you change too much, you won't be able to predict what will happen as easily as before. You could probably help the others avoid making the same mistakes as before without telling them everything. Of course, there's no way of knowing if that's the right choice either.
Being able to predict what will happen next is a huge advantage. I didn't want to lose that, especially not if it could help me guide everyone toward a brighter future. With that in mind, I did the only thing I could. Why'd you climb up all of a sudden? Answer us. How'd you know Eito was a traitor? Well, I lied to them. Last night I went to Eito's room to talk to him about what we were going to do here. And I just happened to see his diary left open on his desk. He'd written out his whole plan in it.
What?
Oh, that's not what you told. I gave Siri a sharp look. I hoped that he would see the message in my eyes. I'll explain later. Anyway, that's how I found out what Eito was up to. Everyone exchanged dubious glances. They clearly weren't sure whether to believe me or not. Well, it's not important how you got this information. What we really need to do is figure out if he really is a traitor or not. Hey, you're right. Let's go hear what Eito has to say about it. I agree with my dear sister. The others nodded in agreement, and they all started filing out of the war room. What, don't you guys believe me? Siri ran off after them, leaving just me and Hiroko. For some reason, she was looking at me with an odd, confused expression.
Why?
She muttered that single solitary word to herself, then left. Did she say why? Why what? Well, whatever. I'd better go after the others myself. They said they were going to talk to Eito. That means they're heading for the courtyard. But they don't know how to get to the courtyard. Theory. Oh, I cannot actually just teleport. I found Siri waiting for me in the hallway. Thought about it and realized there was no need for me to get involved. No skin off my nose if the others want to get Otsuki's side of the story. What's he gonna tell them? You're being tricked. Siri and Takumi are lying to you. Even if he did say something like that, he's got no evidence to back it up. I, on the other hand, have footage of his sudden change in demeanor and everything he said last night. Let them talk to him if they want. You and I have other things to discuss. Let me guess, you want to know why I didn't tell them the truth? That's right. I explained my thought process to Siri. I'm curious, actually. Oh, I can't pull up the map. Hiroko's probably lurking somewhere. If everyone found out what was coming, the future would change again. To maintain the advantage my foreknowledge gave me, I decided to keep them in the dark for now. Didn't you come back because you wanted to change the future, though? Yeah, but a future where all of us can survive. If I can't do that, there's no point in any of this. I want to be the light that guides us toward that future. I see, in other words, your ultimate objective is for everyone to watch the final attack together with smiles on their faces, yes? Not exactly, I really couldn't care less about the final attack. But he had the part about everyone being there right, so I just kept quiet and nodded. Hydrate? I can hydrate. I like it. Your interests and mine match up perfectly. So what do you say we work together? I'll keep it a secret from the others that you came from the future. If it'll help the Special Defense Unit function more efficiently. I'm more than happy to practice a little. Thank you, Raven. One more thing. How much do you know about our mission here exactly? And so I told Fury how things went down during my original 100 days at the Academy. Starting with what happened when I went to second to last Defense Academy and met Nico and the other team members. Then the revelations that followed World Death, Cryptoglobin, the Exodus Project, and the artificial satellite. And of course the fact that the boy made of Undying Flames we'd spoken with last night was what, or rather, who was in the defense room. I told him more or less everything I knew. The only thing I left out was what I learned about Nozomi. The secrets she'd shared that first time were between her and me. I see. And is that all? At all? You mean there's more? What? No, of course not. You've already learned a crazy amount of stuff. That's enough, isn't it? Actually, there was still something that was bothering me.
Right. That's what you think the truth is. You got it all wrong, though.
Aha!
Anyway, I'd better get going. I'll pretend like we never had this conversation, all sneaky like. Sneaky, incognito, reliable, ethical, inside man, that's me. Yeah, okay. Sure, that's Sirei for sure. Sirei hurried away, looking more suspicious than sneaky. Yeah, that sounds about right. Do I really not know the whole truth yet? Was Eito right? Well, even if he was, it's no use asking him now. This version of him has only been here for 3 days. He doesn't know all the things he told me in the defense room back then. Still, though, maybe I'll go talk to him anyway. Everyone else is probably there already. Well, off we go. Oh, hey, Takumi. Eito fessed up already. He told us everything. Hey, he said we look like a bunch of freaky monsters to him. For me, that's actually a compliment. Practically a promotion, in fact. Most of the time, I'm more on the level of something a monster would leave in a litter box. Monster poop? Well, that's interesting in a whole different way. His hatred of mankind seems to be the real deal, at any rate. He even said we should all be destroyed. It all lines up with what you and Sirei told us. What are we gonna do with him now? Chuck him in a barrel of used needles and see what he catches? What do you think we should do, Hiroko? Oh yes, you've been awfully quiet today, Miss Shizuhara. Something on your mind? No, not really. Hiroko's eyes darted toward me, almost like she was watching to see how I'd handle all this. I'll go along with whatever you say, Mistress Hiroko. Would you like his appendix? I'll bring it to you on a silver platter. Why just the appendix? Hey, hi. I'll leave the decision to Takumi. You're the one who stopped Eito last night. You could have killed him then, but you didn't. I can only assume you had a good reason for sparing him. Honestly, I don't think I did. Just didn't feel right to kill another human being in cold blood. I don't know, though. Was that really all there was to it? No, not really. I know an insignificant pile of monster poop like me has no right to weigh in on this. But I think we should let Eito live too. He seems really smart, so if we play our cards right, he might be useful to us. Gotta respect life too. Even soup stock carries the soul of the veggies used to make it. I have no idea what you're talking about. We're agreed on letting Eito live then? He shouldn't be a threat so long as he stays in his cage. Got some kind of weird tech to negate his powers. Aw, so I don't get to rip out his appendix. If this were a killing game, he'd be a perfect candidate for the first murder victim. The matter was decided. Eito would be kept in his cage in the courtyard from now on. As the others left, no one spared a word for the prisoner himself. All they gave him was brief glares of contempt. Takumi, you did come here from the future, didn't you? You seem intent on hiding it now, but that's what's going on here, isn't it? You're keeping it a secret from the others. It's okay. You don't have to explain why. I can figure that part out for myself. Unlike the rest of them, I'm not an idiot. Did they tell you my story about reading your plan in your diary? Oh yes, I could tell right away that you'd made up some excuse. So I went along with it. I told them I really did keep a diary and that I'd written down my plan to kill Siri in it. I played the part perfectly, if I do say so myself. Why though? What's your angle? What indeed? Maybe I just didn't want to let them in on the truth. What really happened that night is a secret between you and me now. Technically, Siri and the creature wreathed in flames know too, but still. In other words, he saw an opportunity and took it. He's holding on to this information until he can use it to his advantage. Speaking of that thing made of undying flames. Stop right there. I don't have to tell you anything. I'm asking the questions here. The you I fought in the future said you learned the truth about this war. A truth not even I knew. You have any idea what that could have meant? I'm not the same person you knew in that timeline. I'm as clueless as you are. Not that I wouldn't like to know why humanity is forging such an abhorrent war. Of course, you could tell me that yourself, couldn't you? I left without saying any more. I looked back just once. Eito was watching me intently, his eyes alight with intelligence and malice. It's always the smart people. That afternoon, after lunch, we made our way to the war room to speak to Siri. Never did get a chance to get you to spill the beans about the truth this morning. You're going to tell us, aren't you? When we asked yesterday, you said it wasn't something you could decide on your own. Which means there's someone above you calling the shots, right? Yeah, but don't sweat it. I got permission. I'll tell you everything. Alright then. No time like the present, I say. Go ahead and tell us what's going on here. Siri nodded and began his explanation. None of it was new information to me, though. It was the same stuff I'd learned during my first 100 days. World Death, Cryptoglobin, the Exodus Project, the artificial satellite, the boy made of undying flames and his physical body in the defense room, the existence of second-to-last Defense Academy and the 5 other fighters there. It all felt so familiar. There was nothing there to surprise or unnerve me. Everybody else was just as shocked as I had expected, though. When it was all done, they stood there dumbfounded, trying in vain to take it all in. By the time Siri had finished his explanation, the whole day had passed us by. So, what exactly does all that mean for us? Aren't you listening? We're about to hold a killing game, duh. Nobody said anything about that. In other words, we need to defend this school for the next 97 days. When we do that, the missiles that the baby has been charging up will be launched. One final attack to wipe out all remaining life, including the invaders. And that'll stop world death once and for all. Well, it's basically like winning a killing game on a worldwide MMO scale. We ain't gonna get caught up in it ourselves. Right before the attack, we'll board an escape pod and take off into outer space. Then we'll join the rest of humanity back on the artificial satellite. I knew you guys would get it. How could you not when I explained it so well? For some reason, Hiroko remained silent through all this. She refused to even make eye contact with any of us. It seemed like she was thinking hard about something. And that explanation has helped alleviate your will to fight to a whole... elevate your will to fight to a whole new level, am I right? Hell yeah, I'm ready for this. Let's kill us a whole bunch of invaders. Yeah, you've convinced me. If it means making it back to the satellite alive, I'm in. Hey, I'll give it my best shot. I might need a couple barf bags, though. I'll fight too. I'll do whatever it takes to protect my dear brother. But sister, dearest. Don't try to stop me. You can say what you want, but my mind's made up. I don't think I've ever heard you speak so forcefully. I guess that's that then. How about you, Shoma? Honestly, I don't think a festering dung beetle like me will be of any real use. But I felt this weird surge of power pulsing through my body last night.
Huh?
I feel like I've ascended to the level of, I don't know, a festering stag beetle? Yeah, man, that's the spirit. Takumi, Hiriko, you two have been fighting right from the start, so I guess there's no point in asking you, huh? We'll be fighting with a full team in our next offensive battle, then. Seems that way. Let's all work together and wipe out those rotten invaders. Oh yeah, I'm really feeling it now.
Hooray!
Come on, let's do a motivational cheer to celebrate, all together now.
Special Defense Unit! Best in the world! Indestructible and undefeated! Never lose! Never yield! Special Defense Unit, fight on!
Yeah, interesting. Unfortunately, or perhaps fortunately, I didn't get caught up in the pep rally mood Siri had going on. In my last timeline, Gaku, Tsubasa, Shoma, and the twins hadn't made up their mind to fight until much later. Had hearing the truth really motivated them that much? Or did their sudden boost in power have more to do with it, like in Shoma's case? Was the juiced up cryptoglobin flowing through them giving them more confidence than before? Either way, I was grateful I wouldn't have to convince them to fight all over again. At the same time, though, this could mean history would change again, deviating from the future I knew even more. When I thought of it that way, I couldn't help feeling uneasy. I felt an intense gaze on me. I looked around and locked eyes with Hiriko. She was looking back at me, also with a weirdly uneasy look on her face. The meeting in the war room came to a close. After a somber late dinner, the others decided to turn in for the night. I did the same and returned to my room. I lay down on my bed to just space out for a while, but then I got up and went to the door to greet my late night visitor.
Huh?
Hiriko, what's up?
Huh.
I wanted to ask you about something.
Huh?
Oh, what is it?
Oh.
After we spoke to Eito in the courtyard, I went back to his room.
Oh.
I searched it from end to end, but I didn't find any diary.
Huh.
You've been lying to us, haven't you?
Huh.
Oh, what? Me? Lie? I don't know what you're talking about.
Tuh.
You're from the future. You traveled back in time somehow and ended up here. That's how you really knew what Ada was up to. Am I wrong? Being confronted with the truth so abruptly threw me for a loop. My face tensed up and my palms began to sweat. How can you possibly know that? I realized too late that I shouldn't have said that. It was practically admitting she was right. Hiriko must have realized it too, although in her case she seemed to relax a little. I thought so. Well, that's all I wanted to know. I'll be going now. Hey, come back. Tell me what this is all about. I knew you were acting weird today, ever since yesterday when I lied to the others, actually. When they all left, you stayed behind and you asked why. You didn't look happy either. What did you mean by that? Just how much do you know anyway? Hiriko didn't answer. She just looked away. Her brows were furrowed. She was biting her lip in thought. We stood there in silence for a while until she gave a sigh and spoke up again. Let me sleep on it. I'll tell you everything tomorrow, if I don't change my mind before then. You will? Yes. But I'll tell you one thing right now. Two, in fact. Keeping your time travel secret from the others was probably the right choice. The same goes for not killing Eito. Until tomorrow, then. Oh, is this the timeline that we get to figure out what's going on with Hiriko? Like, the other side, we had a bunch of Hiriko info, but, lots of mystery. With that, Hiriko left the room, leaving me alone with my confusion and angst.
Up and Atom troops, time to rise and shine! train! Get ready for your 4th day of active service here at Last Defense Academy! Prepare to be ready to give your... Aha!
Now that you've had your breakfast, I have 2 very important announcements to make. Announcements?
Woohoo!
First of all, I've decided to give you the run of the school. Every classroom is now unlocked. I'd originally planned to open them up little by little, but I was really touched by your show of determination yesterday. Consider this your reward. Awesome. Dibs on first try in the guillotine room. Whatever that is, we don't have one here. What about the second announcement? In order to make you a more efficient fighting unit, you need a team leader. The invaders have commanders, so we should have one too, and the position goes to... Seriously? You want me to be, be the leader? Nobody said anything yet. Yeah, besides, it's Samino. Me. You exposed the traitor in our midst and saved your commanding officer from a terrible fate. You've also demonstrated your ability to rally others behind you. Your personality makes you a perfect candidate too. What do you guys think? Any objections? I think it's a good idea. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I'll cast my vote for Takumi too. Although in my case, it's probably only worth 0.01% of an vote. It's always the Red Ranger that leads the team in those hero shows. Takumi's got red hair, so he should do fine. Okay. My dear sister and I dress in red too, but Mr. Samino's probably the better choice. I had a vision that this would happen. Takumi will lead us all toward a brighter future. Fine, if that's how you all feel, I'll step down and let Takumi take over. I'm more the cool outsider type anyway. How about you, Shizuhara? Hiroko took a moment to think about it before answering. I have no reason to oppose this decision. Good enough for me. Takumi Samino, I hereby confer upon you the position of Captain of the Special Defense Unit. I expect you to help your team members grow and lead them all toward a spectacular victory. What was I supposed to say? Thanks, but no thanks? I don't think anyone would have let me weasel out of it like that. Instead, I resigned myself to the inevitable and nodded. Yeah, okay. I'll do my best. I mumbled a half-assed acceptance. Everyone said things like, "Nice to meet you, Captain," or "Don't let us down, Captain." I think they were just teasing me, though. After a few slaps on the back, they filed out of the cafeteria. Last to leave was Hiroko. I hurried over to her before she could get out the door. Hiroko, wait. What is it? What do you think it is? We're supposed to talk. You told me you'd tell me what you've been hiding today. I don't remember making any such promise. I said I'd tell you everything if I didn't change my mind. I thought about it all last night, and unfortunately for you, I did change my mind. Gotta be kidding me. I've never kid anyone in my entire life. Hiroko pushed her glasses up to the bridge of her nose for emphasis. She looked tired out somehow. Thought you were on my side. Your side. You didn't object when Siri made me captain. That doesn't mean I approve of you. I just thought that if you were leading the team, it would make things easier for me. Much better to have a figurehead in place so no one will bother me. Figurehead? In other words, you're a puppet leader. You could have just taken the position yourself. I'm really not the type to take the lead. Besides, I've seen this play out before. What are you talking about? Forget about what I said last night. Just move forward and do whatever you believe is best. With that, Hiroko turned and left. Oh, great. So it was probably the other op. No, she's always a mystery. I don't think we're gonna get clues out of her for a while. With that, Hiroko turned and left. The The clacking of her heels echoed throughout the cafeteria, down the halls, and eventually faded away completely. I couldn't stop thinking about what Hiroko had said. How did she know I'd traveled back in time? She told me to forget all about it, but that was easier said than done. I couldn't focus on anything else. My mind kept drifting back to this mystery. I needed to get the truth out of her. There had to be a way to convince her to tell me what she knew. Having decided that, I wandered all around the school looking for her. By the time I actually found her, the sun had started to sink below the western horizon. I found Hiroko in the war room. Siri was there too. They hadn't noticed me, but seemed to be talking about something serious. I hid behind a nearby pillar, hoping I could listen in on them. In the end, I couldn't hear a thing. If those two were talking in secret, it must be about something important. What were they keeping from me? I was getting more and more curious. I cupped my hand around my ear, but all I could hear was my pulse and the electronic buzzing of the nearby machinery. Damn it. Cursing wouldn't help, I knew that. All I could do was watch them as they carried on their mysterious conversation. I must have stood there like that for a pretty long time. Eventually, Suri handed Hiroko something. It was small and fit into the palm of her hand. I couldn't make out what it was from where I was standing. Did she get some kind of allowance from him? No, it couldn't be. Whatever it was, Hiroko slipped it into her clothes and left the war room. Siri followed suit a little while after. All that time and I still didn't find out anything useful. What could Hiroko have been talking to Siri about, and what was that thing he gave her? I should go after her. I still have so many questions that need answering. It was past 11 p.m. by the time I headed back to the roof. I was still reluctant to give up and go to bed, though, so I decided to knock on Hiroko's door instead. But when I got there was no one there. It was like Hiroko had disappeared completely. This is ridiculous. Just where did she go? As I stood there wondering to myself, I heard a noise. It sounded like propellers. I looked over the railing and down into the schoolyard. There, hovering near the wall of fire, was a drone with a fire extinguisher mounted to it. And standing next to it, Hiroko. Hiroko activated the extinguisher and created a hole in the wall. She stepped through it and out into the night. Where's she running off to now? I scrambled down the stairs, hoping it wasn't too late to catch her. I arrived in the entrance hall, and sure enough, one of the fire extinguishers was missing. I grabbed the remaining one and headed outside. Once I was past the wall, I walked around for a while, but I didn't see any trace of Hiroko. Guess I shouldn't be surprised. She could be anywhere out here. But now that I'd come this far, I couldn't just give up. Between what she told me last night and her conversation with Siri today, Hiroko had a lot of explaining to do. I wanted to know why she was wandering around off school grounds at night too. Just what is she up to? Still glancing around, I made my way down a narrow alley between two crumbling old buildings. That's when I saw it. As I was turning a corner, I caught sight of someone. They were a pretty long distance away. It was dark too, so I couldn't make out many details. But even from behind, it was obvious enough who it was. Hiroko. She was standing outside the entrance to a building on the edge of the town ruins. It didn't look like a house. It was probably some kind of office or facility. She looked around her one last time before slipping inside and disappearing from view. I hurried after her. What is this place? I guess I'll head inside. I went through the entrance gate and headed toward the main building. I opened the door as slowly and quietly as I could and went inside. Right away, I noticed that one of the doors in the hall was slightly ajar and light was spilling out from the room beyond. I crept closer and peered through. What the? My hand shot up to cover my mouth. I'd almost said that out loud. Erika was in there all right, but she hadn't noticed I was here yet. I noticed some kind of large machine casing a few feet away from the door. I darted in and snuck behind it. Phew. With a sigh of relief, I took another look around the room. It was packed with weird-looking machinery, most of it rusting or broken. Maybe this was a research lab once? Doesn't look like it's been used in a long time. I poked my head out from my hiding place to see what Hiroko was doing. She seemed to be operating one of the machines, pausing every now and then to adjust her glasses. That should do it. Now... She walked over to a giant locker and pulled the door open. Inside were... well, they were some kind of all-body suits, like what deep-sea divers or astronauts would wear. That's great. We definitely needed to see more of these. There were several hanging in that locker, more than 10 at least. There were helmets too, old-timey, heavy-looking ones. Yuriko grabbed a suit and a helmet and took them out of the locker. Wait, she's not going to change right here, is she? The thought of being here while she undressed got me really nervous. Luckily or unluckily, she didn't actually strip down, but put the suit on over her clothes. There, ready to go. I'm running out of time. If I don't make the leap soon. Did she say leap? What was that all about? At the back of the room was a control console of some kind. Hiroko walked up to it and brought her fist down on a big red button. That done, she stepped up to a circular platform next to the machine. She got to the center of it and stood there. Then particles of light started to fill the space around her. Wait a minute. What the heck? I had no idea what was going on. But my pulse was racing. My mind was drawing a complete blank. There was just one thought in my head. One thought and a rising sense of panic. Yuriko was going to disappear. I'd never see her again. I couldn't let that happen.
Hiruko!
Huh?
Poor dummy. Day 5. I'm not really sure what happened after that, but when I came to, I was on the floor, and Hiroko was holding me in her arms. At least, I think it was Hiroko. She had a helmet on, so I couldn't tell for sure. The next moment, though, that question was answered.
Takumi, are you alright? Get a hold of yourself!
It was muffled, but it was unmistakably Hiroko's voice. I felt a wave of relief wash over me, followed by a sharp pain.
What were you thinking, jumping in without a leap suit?
It looked great.
A leap suit? Is that what the thing you're wearing is called?
Yes. If you perform a parallel leap without one of these, it puts an incredible amount of strain on your body.
What's a parallel leap?
She didn't answer, and because of the helmet, I couldn't see what kind of expression she had on her face.
What are you doing here?
I followed you. I had some questions for you, about 100 of them at least. Although now it's more like 200.
At least your head wasn't seriously damaged. How's the rest of your body?
It feels numb. I don't think I can move. I feel really cold and nauseous too.
If you're going to throw up, do it after I leave.
Leave? Where are you going?
Back to the academy.
You're going back already? Why?
I don't have time to explain. It's already past midnight.
Midnight? What day is it now then?
Day 5, technically.
Late night day 4 or early morning day 5?
What does it matter? Are you trying to waste my time? Ugh, I have to go. You stay here and rest. I mean it. Don't you dare move from this spot.
Hiroko stepped away from me and made her way to a nearby locker. Not the locker she'd taken the leap suit from, a different one. She opened the door, revealing 2 drones, both fitted with fire extinguishers. Huh, 2? That didn't seem right. Hiroko used one of them to leave the school. Where did the other one come from? I'd left the extinguisher I used outside, leaning against a wall. It couldn't have ended up in here somehow, could it? While I was still trying to make sense of everything, Hiroko grabbed one of the machines and rushed out the door, still wearing her leap suit. After lying there for a while, the feeling started coming back to my legs. Pretty soon I was able to move around again and got to my feet. I'm still in the same place I was before, right? Looks the same anyway. What happened when I dove into that circle of light after Hiroko? And how long did I black out for? It didn't feel like very long, a minute at most. What could have happened during that minute? No use thinking about it now, I should go after Hiroko. I went to the locker and took out the other extinguisher drone. The pain hadn't completely faded yet, but I pushed through it and made my way outside. I knew where Hiroko was going. She told me herself back to the academy. I still didn't get why, though. Hiroko had left the school in the dead of night, went to a weird research lab, and then went right back to the school again. What was she doing? What was it all for? I kept pondering these questions as I made my way through the ruins. Eventually, I came in sight of a familiar territory, Last Defense Academy, standing there just like I'd left it. Now where's Hiroko? Do I have to? I kinda figured. Morgue. Why are we going to the morgue? Should we go this way, I guess. We're not gonna find it on our own. Theoretically here? Huh? Isn't this classroom usually locked? It looks like I can get inside now. Huh? What is that? Several desks were lined up in the strange classroom, and there was something lying on top of one of them. Something vaguely human-shaped under a white sheet. I slowly walked up to it, grabbed the white sheet, and pulled it off. Eito.
Eito? No, it can't be.
I see, I see. Can I go? I can go here. So what we've done is we have jumped, most likely, to leaving the school, since it's so quiet. And that's what the mysterious suit people that we keep seeing constantly. So right now we're in a timeline where probably gonna be jumping around constantly.
He was shut up in his cage. There's no way he could have gotten out. So then how? How did he get here? And why is he dead?
But before I could do anything, a loud noise erupted from somewhere else in the school. Sounded like it came from above me. Confused and bewildered, I rushed into the hall and up the stairs. When I got to the 3rd floor, I heard the noise again. It's coming from the infirmary. know which side we're on. Leisure Lounge. Oh. Don't tell me Hiriko's the one that damages the robots. Somebody was collapsed in one corner of the room. She still had the weird suit on, but her helmet was gone now. I could see her face clearly. It was Hiriko. I scrambled over to her and propped her up, just like she'd done for me earlier.
Hiroko, are you okay? Come on, hang in there.
I shook her shoulders, and her eyelids fluttered open. When she saw me, her eyes went wide with shock. And then, for some reason, she kicked me in the stomach. I went flying like a rag doll. I smacked into a corpse recovery drone, and it fell to the ground with a clatter. And that wasn't the end of it, either. When I looked up, Hiriko was standing right in front of me. She reached down and began squeezing my neck hard. It felt like she was trying to wrench my head clean off.
Hiroko, what are you doing? Please, stop it!
I tried to pry her hands off me, but I wasn't strong enough. Whatever happened in the research facility had taken too much of a toll on me.
Please, Hiroko, at this rate, I'm really gonna...
I never got to finish. The next moment, I blacked out completely. I don't know how much time passed after that. My consciousness drifted back at some point for a little while. Everything was still kind of fuzzy, though. My vision was blurry. It was hard to make out what was going on around me. But I had the vague impression of someone standing in front of the revival-matic. It was Hiriko. There was a corpse recovery drone on the floor next to her. Was somebody inside? I really couldn't tell from where I was. I tried to sit up, but in the state I was in, I couldn't even lift my head up. So I just lay there and watched. Last thing I saw was the recovery drone getting sucked into the larger machine. And then everything went black again. The next time I woke up, it was a lot more sudden and more violent. I was on my feet, forced to stand with my arms held behind my back. Don't tell me, was all that just an act? People do tell me I have a talent for inhabiting a character. Inhabiting. You sure fooled me. Me, I was Hiriko all along. Yeah, I know. I looked over at the revival-matic. It was empty, and the drone from before was gone. I only wish this was just a play. Then maybe we could rewrite the script so I wouldn't make such a terrible mistake. Mistake? I couldn't save him. I had no idea what Hiriko was talking about, but it felt like it would be a bad idea to press her. Her voice was small and fragile in a way I hadn't heard before. Well, we're done here. Let's get going. We're going back to where we belong. Wait, Hiroko, tell me what's going on. Why are we going back there? You mean the lab? This is some kind of research facility, right? Just what kind of research do they do here? Hiroko wouldn't answer me. She just kept going, leaving me no choice but to follow her. Hiroko, please tell me what's going on. I'm so lost. Bad enough that we're in this weird lab, but also, I saw a body back at the school. Body? Yeah, it was Eito. I saw him with my own 2 eyes. He was in the classroom on the 2nd floor. Oh. That's what happened. That's why Eito could be there. One of these timelines, where Eito's alive, he gets out of his cage, and then goes to the timeline to torture Takumi. was in the classroom on the second floor. He'd been drained. He was just a dried up husk.
Huh.
I see.
Ah!
Is that all? Aren't you shocked by that?
Huh.
Not especially.
Huh?
Seriously? Kiriko turned away, shutting down any further conversation. She began flipping switches and turning dials on different pieces of machinery around the room. I trailed after her, asking question after question, but she ignored me and just kept working. Then she opened up the large locker. Put this on. That was the most she'd said to me in a while.
Oh.
Well, how do you like it? Called this a leap suit, right? See how it adjusts to fit your height? That's one of its special functions. It will automatically shrink or stretch to fit the dimensions of whoever wears it. It's not like I'm insecure about being short or anything. Well, we should get going. Kiriko stepped away from me. She pressed the red button on the control console and stepped onto the round platform like I'd seen her do before. Come on, hurry. She barked an order at me and I instinctively complied. It'll start any moment now. What will? 3, 2, 1. Got our answers for why she knows stuff. It's done. Okay, I didn't skip anything. Huh? Let's head back.
Huh?
What? Back where?
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna go through this every time? Where else would we be going back to? Kiriko stepped off the platform and hung up her leap suit in the locker. I did the same, still totally at a loss about what was going on. Don't tell anyone what you've seen here today. You understand what will happen if you do, don't you? Behind her glasses, her eyes were filled with murderous intent. I gulped nervously and nodded. It was around 4 a.m. when we got back to the school, and still dark. My list of questions I wanted to ask Hiroko was fast approaching 300. But I didn't have the energy to bring any of them up. My body got put through the ringer at the lab, then kicked and strangled shortly after. It was no wonder I was exhausted. She still hasn't apologized for any of that. Oh well, only one thing to do. I went back to my room and fell onto my bed. All of a sudden, I felt more tired than I had in a long time. I allowed myself to relax and soon fell into a deep, deep sleep. I woke up and went outside, realizing I must have slept away most of the day. I didn't feel so tired or beaten up anymore, but my head was still as fuzzy as ever. Not so much from fatigue as the 300 or so questions swirling around in my mind. For now, I decided to focus on just one of them, and I knew which one.
Huh?
Eito. Eito, you're... What's the matter, Takumi? You look like you've seen a ghost. Not that I've ever seen a ghost myself, or seen how you look when you've seen one. When you think about it, isn't that expression a little problematic? I mean, it's hardly showing proper respect toward the dead. You're alive. In response to my comment, Eito put his hands on the bars of his cage and pushed against them. Last time I checked, yes. If I were a ghost, I'd have phased out of here a long time ago. What's going on here? I saw his body just last night, didn't I? Seriously, Takumi, what's wrong? Did you come across a corpse that looked like me or something? He's quick on the uptake as always. I've barely said anything and he's figured it out already. Might not believe it, but I know how to keep a secret. I still haven't told anyone about you coming from the future. You need someone to talk to confidentially. I'm always here. Come on, tell me what happened. I knew better than to take that risk. I left without saying another word. Danger. True. He is danger. That night, the others ate a sumptuous dinner in the cafeteria before heading back to their rooms. I struggled to force down a few spoonfuls of rice porridge. I put it aside and stopped Hiroko before she could leave. Hiroko, have you got a minute? I really need to talk to you. This is that classroom that's always locked. Yeah, I asked Siri to unlock it for us. Why did you bring me here? This is where I found it. This is where I saw Eito's body last night. He'd had all the blood drained out of him. Someone must have absorbed his cryptoglobin. But then, when I checked again today, the body wasn't here. But that's not the weirdest part. Eito's still alive. He's in his cage like normal. I even spoke to him. And I got to thinking, and this has something to do with that weird lab, doesn't it? You mentioned something called a parallel leap before. That's what we did when we used that machine, right? Still don't really get it, but I get the feeling that's why so much just doesn't seem to add up. Hiroko was silent. Now that I think about it. Day 5. Only person that could be dead on day 5 would be Eito. Who did she think was... Weird. Hiroko was silent. It wasn't all that surprising. The way she'd been acting, I didn't expect her to tell me everything just like that. But I wasn't giving up. Instead, I ushered her into another room. Why here? You spoke to Siri about something important in here yesterday. You were spying on us. I'd prefer it if you didn't put it like that. Either way, it's not a pleasant habit. When you finished talking, Siri gave you something. What was it? Just some dried kombu kelp in case I got hungry. Okay, now tell me the truth. Again, no answer. I sighed and shook my head and moved on. Quite the little tour of the school you're taking me on. This will be our last stop. Last night I rushed in here and found you passed out in the corner. I had no idea what had happened, and things only got more confusing from there. When you woke up, you kicked me in the stomach and tried to strangle me. Maybe you can explain that? You still haven't apologized for that, you know. I didn't have a lot of choice in the matter. It was a regrettable accident. An accident that nearly killed me. Fine, I'm sorry. You've got your apology. Can I go now? Hiroko was already turning to leave, but I grabbed her arm before she could go any further. I'm not done yet. After you nearly killed me, I came to, just for a minute. And I saw you in front of the revival-matic with a corpse recovery drone. Who was inside the drone, Hiroko? You said I couldn't save him. Him who? Were you talking about whoever was in the recovery drone? Is that all you wanted to ask? Just one more thing, and this one's the most important of all. You already know that time travel exists. You knew I came here from the future. How? Hiroko pushed aside a lock of her long, silky hair and looked away. She was clearly nervous. She was biting her lip, fiddling with her choker, tapping her heels. Finally, she made up her mind and spoke up. All right, I'll tell you. You will? On one condition. Starting tomorrow, I'm going to have a lot to do. I might struggle to get it all done by myself, so I'll need someone to help with it.
Huh?
You mean me? Naturally. What exactly would you want me to do? Just do as you're told, follow my instructions, and don't ask questions. Good luck with that one. Tagumi's great at asking questions. I need to be able to work in peace without stopping to explain things to you. Provided the work gets done, I'll answer all your questions on the evening of day 9. Really will this time, right? You're not going to change your mind again? I give you my word, just so long as you hold up your end of the bargain. Hiroko looked me dead in the eye. I met her gaze without flinching. Okay, you've got yourself a deal. I did pick the Hiroko line. Let's go. Hiroko called on me in my room shortly before dawn the next morning. I'll get right to the point. I'm going to second to last Defense Academy today, and I want you to come with me. I'm sure you understand why we're going. To get Nico and the others, right? Hiroko nodded. It was no surprise she knew about the other campus. Siri had explained it to everyone a few days ago, after all. Hey, wait a minute. Today? You don't mean right now, do you? Of course. It's not even 4:30. Time is of the essence. We need to be back here before tomorrow. Tomorrow was day 7. That was the day the first commander we faced came back to fight us again. You mean for the battle? How do you know about that already? That's a penalty. I told you not to ask questions, or are you incapable of holding up your end of the deal? I reluctantly held back the torrent of questions welling up inside me. Now, go and wake the others up. We'll need more than 2 of us for this journey. We need to put together an excursion team. Okay, but why do I have to be the one to do it? I know, it's such a pain, isn't it? Are you starting to see why I made you captain now? We're being used. I decided to run things by Siri before getting the others involved.
In my future, the other academy was attacked on day 10. During that battle, Moko was taken prisoner and later killed. It's better for us to avoid losing soldiers if we can help it, right? So I was thinking of going there and bringing them back here.
Why so early in the day, though? Because there will be an invader attack here tomorrow. We'll have to leave soon if we can make it back in time for that. Siri spent a few minutes thinking the matter over. Alright, I'll allow it. Thanks, there's just one thing worrying me, though. When the attack does come, everyone's probably going to ask how I knew about it. I've already decided not to tell them about the time travel, so don't sweat it, I'll come up with something. As it happens, I received word from the artificial satellite. Siri was explaining the situation to the rest of the team.
Yeah.
According to their intel, there's going to be another attack sometime tomorrow. They were able to deduce this by analyzing the enemy's movements from above. There's going to be a lot more of them than you saw on your first day here. So I've made the decision to call in the troops from the other campus to supplement our current fighting strength. I had to hand it to him. He sounded convincing. The others accepted the story without a second thought. So you're saying we need to get there and back all before tomorrow. Hiroko was playing her part too. You'd never have guessed this was her idea in the first place. So who's going and who's staying? Mino, Shizuhara, Kawana, and Ginzaki. You'll be our excursion team. What about me? I want to go murder the guys at the other campus too.
Oh.
Nobody said anything about murder, Miss Amamiya. I get Takumi and Hiroko. We've seen they can fight. But why'd you pick the other two? Yeah, why did you pick us? We end up having to fight while we're out there. Wouldn't Takamaru or Darumi be a better choice? But that would leave us without any experienced fighters back here. Just think about what that would mean if the excursion team didn't make it back in time. I guess that makes sense.
Huh?
Can you handle it, Tsubasa? Yeah, I think so. I haven't eaten today, so if worse comes to worse, I won't have a lot to throw up.
Huh?
How about you, Shoma? He'll be fine. I've been giving him some intensive training the last couple days. Right, that's why I look like this now. I can even control it now. If I relax a little, I go back to normal. Sorry, you must have found that pretty revolting, huh? Nobody spoke. We were all still in shock. Even though you should be used to it by now. Well, not all of us. Shoma himself was fine in Takamaru since he'd been the one training him, and also... For some reason, Hiroko wasn't fazed by Shoma's transformation either. Almost as if she'd seen it before. Anyway, you don't have to worry about me. I'll do my best to be useful in my own trashy way. I'm pretty sure in the first timeline he got bulked up. Did he not? The first timeline, Gaku ate Kurara's curry, and Shoma was taking the blame. Pretty sure. Anyway, you don't have to worry about me. I'll do my best to be useful. I read that. You guys remember when I mentioned feeling a surge of power before? You all felt that too, right? We all nodded. I get the feeling we can do great things with this power.
The flow of time is by nature one of the absolute truths of the world. There's no way that flow can be reversed. Breaking that rule and warping time to your own ends is bound to have consequences.
By going back in time, I'd broken that absolute law. And the resonance effect that had made everyone stronger was already having consequences I hadn't counted on. Be on our way. We can't afford to waste time. Alright, look out there. I'll take care now. With that, the members of our excursion team went to the war room for an additional briefing from Sirei. Apparently, there was a shortcut we could take by putting out flames in strategic places. This route would cut down on our journey time considerably. It still wasn't the kind of round trip we could make in a couple of hours, though. If we made it back before sunset, that would be enough for me. Is everybody ready? Yes, ready. I don't know. We'll take good care of the place while you're gone. Then let's go. Wait, I still need to go to the bathroom. Bye, Shoma. I'll leave you behind. According to the map, the shortcut is right over there. How do you know that? Sirei told us so, didn't he? Oh yeah, I guess. Don't just stand there mumbling, get moving. I just want story. Phew, we finally made it. So that's second to last Defense Academy. That's it, no doubt about it. You're talking like you've been here before. I thought I told you not to ask questions. Do you want another penalty? Penalty? I hope they have bathrooms. I'm ready to burst. Shoma dashed off toward the school and disappeared inside. He could have just gone on the way here. He probably can't go outdoors. He strikes me as the delicate type. Yeah? And then as the rest of us got closer, I saw her. Nozomi. My pulse started racing. My breathing got heavier. I felt an uncontrollable burning in my chest. Nozomi was alive. She was alive again and right in front of me. Without thinking, I almost reached out to touch her, but I fought that impulse and pulled it back. Right. This was the moment I'd been waiting for, the whole reason I made this trip. What? It wasn't because Hiroko told me to. Even if she hadn't, I'd have insisted on coming anyway. This was all to see Nozomi again. This time I'd do whatever it took to protect her. You must be Takumi, right?
Huh?
And you two are Hiroko and Tsubasa. I don't understand. How do you know our names? Hiroko, Tsubasa, and I shared a confused glance. But then... Oh dear, I'm most terribly sorry we weren't here to greet you. Greet us? We had to help Kyoshika get her sword out of her you-know-where. Oh my gosh. Technically, it was her sword sheath. It was stuck in there pretty tight. Took us a while to pull it out. Her you-know-where? You don't mean... Please don't get the wrong idea. It was lodged in the drain pipe in the bathroom, that's all. Lady Carrara thrust the holy Jamonji sword sheath in there in a moment of impish high spirits. It was clogged. What was I supposed to do? Just what do you think my beloved sword is? Well, I know there's something you used to. Well, I know it's something you used to. Well, don't say another word. Whoa, back up a minute. Can you answer a question, please? Yes, what's this all about coming out to greet us? We received a communique from the Honorable Siri, you see. I mean, that was a given. I see, so basically Siri called ahead and let you know to expect us. Not just that, he told us the other stuff he's been keeping secret too. He explained how the circumstances have changed. But I still don't get it. If Siri could contact you, why did we have to come get you? It was only to get in contact a few hours ago. The electronic interference has been rather fierce of late. But you know what's going on about the attack on Last Defense Academy tomorrow? Yes, we do. That makes things easier. I wouldn't want to waste time explaining things to you. Go, get the school bus ready to leave. It already is. I'm afraid that I won't be joining you, though. I am unable to abandon second to last Defense Academy. I've been ordered to guard it with my life. Ordered by who? Was it this Siri person? No, these orders came from someone higher up. Nigo looked up as he said this. Up at the huge celestial body in the sky, lit with countless mechanical lights, the artificial satellite. The enemy hasn't realized this school is only a decoy yet. Sooner or later they will attack it. When that happens, are you planning to self-destruct? Oh my, how did you know? Sorry, but I won't allow that. We can't afford to lose you. I thought Hiroko was showing a softer side of herself. I was wrong. The very next moment, she dashed toward Nigo and brought her heel down viciously on his head. What the? Whoa, that was sweet. I wish I could do axe kicks like that. Nigo fell to the ground with a thud, still scattering sparks from the top of his head. Some part of his body was making a high-pitched staticky whine I'd never heard before. Why did you do that? Good grief, and I thought I was the killer of this group. Don't worry, an attack like that won't destroy him. I just forced him to shut down for a while. Everyone stood rooted to the spot, stunned into silence. It felt like we were doing that a lot today. As usual, Hiriko was totally unconcerned about what anyone thought of her. Now, let's get going. She picked Nigo up like he was a piece of hand luggage and began carrying him toward the parking lot where the school bus was waiting. And then, with all of us safely on board the school bus, we left second to last Defense Academy behind without another word. Did we forget Shoma? Oh, we left Shoma. This whole episode had added another 100 questions to the list of things I wanted to ask Hiriko about. But I'd just have to keep them to myself until the end of day 9. I sat squirming in my seat, reminding myself to be patient, no matter how difficult that might be.
By the way, does it feel like we're forgetting something important?
Something important?
I've got all 28 volumes of my favorite manga.
What's so important about that? And I've got my signed World Championship belt. Ugh, nobody cares!
Now that you mention it.
Weren't there supposed to be 4 of you?
Oh no!
Shoma! We forgot all about him!
We made a U-turn and rushed back to the second to last Defense Academy. Sure enough, we found Shoma in the courtyard there, tears streaming down his face. We picked him up and made a fresh start on our return journey.
It's fine. Really, I don't mind. It's no wonder you'd forget about me.
That's terrible.
I know my existence is about as flimsy as a 0.01 millimeter thin piece of rubber.
That's not true!
Did you actually understand what that meant?
Not exactly, but I kinda got the gist of it, you know?
There's only one thing you can use a rubber that thin for.
Don't say it!
We spent the rest of the journey doing our very best to cheer Shoma up. Yeah, how's that working? Eventually, we built his self-esteem back up to its normal, albeit still low level, and Last Defense Academy came into view on the horizon. All made it back, that's a relief. Oh, were you worried about us? No, I was just... Never mind, it ain't important. He's been pacing around the school in a tizzy the whole day. That's just part of my training routine. Today's leg day, that's all. So those guys with you are... the Faceless NPC squad? Hello there, my name is Nozomi Kirafuji.
No!
I'm Moko Mojiro, the apocalyptic maiden of destruction. Yoshika Magadori at your service. Bow your heads, peasants. I am Karara Osozuki, the great and powerful. And I'm Yugamu Omokage, teenage assassin, hopeless romantic, and all-around nice guy.
Hey!
You're all totally distinct characters. Maybe a little too distinct. We gotta introduce ourselves too, or we'll look boring next to them. That's alright, Nigo already told us all about you. Nigo is that little critter in the red beret, yes? I am second to last Defense Academy's... basically series underling, right? He filled us in on you guys from the second campus already. Anyway, let's get started. What are the rules for this killing game, Siri? There is no killing game. We have a battle coming up tomorrow. Now that the introductions are over, we should rest up until then. So you guys are really gonna fight with us? You know it. We'd scarce come all this way just to deny you now. The team from the other academy had discussed their resolve on the way over. After Nigo told them all about World Death Cryptoglobin and the Exodus Project and the artificial satellite, they were in no doubt about what they had to do. From here on, we just protect the baby in the defense room until day 100, right? Then the missiles he's been charging up will be launched in all directions. All the invaders will be wiped out, and that'll be the end of World Death. But right before we shoot off in the escape pod to meet back up with the rest of humanity on the artificial satellite. What possible reason could we have for refusing to help? We make it through these 100 days and everyone's stories end happily. We're with you all the way. Yes, guys, glad to have you on board. Our team welcomed the new arrivals with open arms. It just melts my cold metal heart to see you all getting along. Those invaders won't know what hit them now. What do you guys say to another cheer? All together now.
Special Defense Unit, best in the world, indestructible and undefeated. Never lose, never yield. Special Defense Unit, fight on!
I can't put my finger on it, but something feels off. Didn't we have a lot more teething troubles getting everyone to work as one big team last time? Well, it's not like I want everyone fighting among themselves, so I guess this is fine. With night drawing on, everyone went back to their rooms, including the new members who had new rooms assigned to them. For some reason, Nozomi stayed back after the others had gone. Is something wrong? No, I just wanted to thank you for going to all the trouble of coming to collect us. That school was only a decoy, so if we stayed there, sooner or later we'd... Anyway, I'd really appreciate it. Knock it off, I haven't really done anything to deserve your thanks. If you want to thank me, do it after we make it through this right here on day 100. I never expected you to say something like that. Sorry, too corny? Not at all, I agree. We'll pick this up again on day 100. That's right, this is what I'm here for. This is why I came back to the past. To protect Nozomi and to make sure everyone survives. This time I won't make the same mistakes. Well then, Takumi, good night. With those parting words, Nozomi left and went to her room for the night. I thought I was alone, but then I heard a noise. I turned around, but there was nobody there. Must have been my imagination. Still not totally convinced, I made my way to my own room. There was a faint aroma of lavender in the air, a scent that felt weirdly familiar.
Get ready for prepared. Be ready to give your lot.
Weird, I couldn't skip the bing bong ding dong. Alright, so when are those disgusting freaks gonna show up? I'm already here. I wasn't talking about you. You mean the invaders, right? Siri, do you know when they'll be coming? Well, soon. Hiroko seemed to know everything already. I was on the verge of asking her about it, but she silenced me with a sharp glare. How do you know, Hiroko? Siri and Nigo told me already. Yeah, that's it. Indeed, she asked us shortly before you all got here. We'll be fighting the same commander that escaped on day 1, isn't that right? Exactly. Gosh, you're such a good listener, Shizuhara. Since you already have experience fighting him, we have a strategic advantage. Not to mention, we've got a much bigger team this time. Yes, quite. It should be no challenge at all.
Intruder alert. Defense.
Eek, they're really here. I told you, didn't I? Okay, we'll do this battle and then we're done, probably. Alright, Takumi, go ahead. You're our captain, aren't you? Don't you have anything to say to your team before they head out into battle? Alright, is everyone ready? Good. Yeah, let's do this. What's up, Gaku? Why are you shaking so much? Shut up, I'm just cold, that's all. I decided to go commando today. Could have at least pretended you were trembling with anticipation or something. I'm ready. I took a whole bunch of anti-nausea pills, so The holy Jumanji sword is always ready. She longs to spill the blood of the wicked. I can go whenever. I'm such a nothing character, I'll probably get wiped out right away anyway. Don't be such a pessimist. You've got the apocalyptic maiden of destruction looking out for you now. This cruel prince of the underworld is ready to protect his dear sister at any cost. You're really going to let me fight too? You've made your feelings abundantly clear. I know I couldn't stop you even if I tried. Yeah, boy, I'm ready to wash all this blood off my hands, with even more blood. I'll work together out there. Humanity's counting on us. This isn't just for them, but for ourselves too. We fight for our future. Oh my, this camaraderie is so touching, so moving. Not bad, I suppose. Okay, Samino, you're in charge. Leave it to me. Come on, guys, let's do this. I want to do the fight. They're giving the stronger stuff.
Huh? Who is that?
On the edge of the battlefield, watching us fight was a figure I didn't recognize.
Is that the commander you guys fought before?
No, that's not him.
Yeah, that guy was a straight-up giant.
Maybe he's gonna transform and get big again?
No, that's not it. I've never seen that person during the whole of my previous 100 days. I have no idea who they are, but they're not a commander, that's for sure.
Don't get distracted, Takumi. That's not who you should be focusing on now.
Huh?
Over there?
Who's this? Another party crasher? Ah, that's him, guys.
Yes. That's the commander we faced on our first day here.
God of the planet, hear my plea and lend me thy strength. Blood of my bond, release! Time. I'm done running away. I have to stand and fight. All of you stand aside. If you don't, then in the name of order, I will strike you down.
Transformed and got big! Told you so!
You were talking about someone else when you said that.
Hoodie over there hasn't done anything, though.
Hoodie?
The person in the hood, duh.
Is that? Why is someone I've never seen before showing up all of a sudden? Did the timeline change again?
Oh, leave them, Takumi. You're the captain now. We need you to lead.
I know. Everyone, concentrate your attacks on the giant commander.
I believe he called himself Mervrum, yes?
Got it!
I will run.
By Mervrum.
Is it actually over this time? Did we win?
Yeah. I think so.
Woohoo! Go us! Excuse me while I go rip out that Mervrum guy's appendix. Why just the appendix?
What happened to Hoodie?
I looked around. The mysterious figure had disappeared at some point during the battle.
Who was that anyway?
Mayhap a simple wanderer?
What do we do with this guy? He ain't dead yet.
Takamaru pointed to where Mervrum lay on the ground, heavily injured but still breathing.
I think he's trying to say something.
Let me take a look.
Igamu knelt over the fallen commander. After a quick but surprisingly thorough examination, he spoke up again.
His vocal cords have been crushed. Someone must have hit him right in the throat.
Oh yeah, those throat chops can really do a number on you. Believe me, I know.
He's not going to be able to talk then?
No, sorry.
Even if he could, it's not like we can understand their language.
Yes, we can. When he first showed up, he told us his name and stuff, remember?
I am Mervrum, the Paragon of Order. In the name of order, I will strike you down.
Why does Takumi keep saying that? Is that just a thing from the first line? Obviously, we could hear him.
He was the one who got struck down, though.
Epic fail!
Yeah, so what do we do now?
Did you call me?
Nobody even mentioned you.
But you're all in need of guidance, right? You want to know what to do with Mervrum?
Well, yeah.
The answer's easy. Just put him out of his misery.
Do what?
Finish him off and take his hemoanima for yourself.
If you guys want to win this war, you'll need to do everything you can to increase your power.
This is for your own good, not to mention the good of humanity.
Go on, you know it makes sense.
Give him what for, Mr. Sumino?
I'm for finishing him off too. I'll let you decide who does it, Takumi. Just do as you're told. Follow my instructions and don't ask questions.
There's definitely a line where we do not kill a single invader, but it is not this.
Provided the work gets done, I'll answer all your questions on the evening of day 9. Make your choice. As our captain, this is your responsibility.
Saying no wasn't an option. I nodded and prepared myself for what came next. Sorry, Mervrum. One day you'll get to live. You're done, right?
All right, let
Go, here we
me
go.
do it.
You need to be stronger, I guess.
Exquisite.
3000 BP. Somehow we all made it through the battle in one piece. I took a shower afterwards to try and get my head together. We decided to meet up in the rec room that evening to celebrate our victory. It's a little early, but maybe I'll head over there now. I was gonna finish off the day, but if it's giving me a chance to dip out. We are pretty far down in this line, though. Getting there. How many endings? We got 30. We're almost 1/3 of the way through. Technically, we're close to 31. I just need to find info in one of these lines. Now, we find someone to raid. Or live. We'll raid this one. He's gone right now, but still. Alright, you guys, thanks for hanging out. We're finally on to the new line. That's pretty nice. I don't have much, though. We will certainly continue tomorrow. We will just continue knocking them out. It's gonna take a bit. As I said, we're one-third of the way through. Granted, there's gonna be fast lines, but this one seems like it's gonna be a pretty long one. But, that's it for now. So, thank you guys for hanging out, and I hope you all have a wonderful day, night, evening, afternoon, morning, and I'll see you guys next time.